I want to move on to our next one. We actually have a very accomplished speaker, one of our clients. We're very pleased to have Rose McElrath Slade as our special guest. Ms. Slade is the founder, president, CEO of Strategic Resources. SRI specializes in the management consulting, information technology, telecommunications engineering, logistics, healthcare support services, you name it. They have over 1,000 employees worldwide, providing services to both public sector organizations as well as the Fortune 500 companies. Mrs. Slade started SRI in 1988. Her intent was to build an organization that really placed value on quality, integrity, and people before the balance sheet. And a quarter century later, it's clear that these principles have really served the company quite well and its employees. She has a master's degree in management from Ohio State University and is a graduate of the Business Executive Program at Dartmouth Tuck. She also earned a Master's of Divinity from the Howard. She's an incredibly accomplished individual from Howard. She she's an ordained minister, active in her congregation, and nationally in faith-based outreach communities. In 2000, Mrs. Slade founded a new nonprofit, multicultural, non-denominational Christian organization, Sisters United in Christ, which globally unites and uplifts people of all faiths. She also has started corporations such as Black Human Resources Network, National Association of African Americans and Human Resources, and was the creator of Opportunities Unlimited. I think there's a lot more there, which I can also talk about. But she's received numerous awards and recognitions, I think several times among the 25 most influential minority women in business. So we'd like to hand it over to you, Mrs. Slade.
Thank you so much. Great. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, thank you so much for that introduction. It always embarrasses me because I consider myself just to be fairly simple, a working person, and that's it. Trying to do the best I can at all times. But thank you very much. This has been very enlightening and very much needed for me to take a break and learn more about golf and also the graphics. I'm very, very impressed with your town hall meeting, and will attend again. So thank you so much. Let me take a moment and just reiterate that from the slides, if you can bring up the slides, that SRI has been in business for 33 years. We started in 1988, I believe, yes. And I can only say that when you're doing what you like and having fun, time passes very quickly. We started in the commercial market first with companies like MCI, Freddie Mac, Washington Gas, Washington Hospital Center. And then we moved to the federal sector in the civilian organizations like DOD, Department of Treasury, IRS, Department of Transportation, and then eventually to DOD with all the military organizations. And so it's been a blessing. We are an international company. We have 1,200 employees worldwide. We're ISO 9001, 2015 certified, CMMI level 3 certified. We've been certified in these two entities for more than 25 years, and we're pushing now for level 5. Lines of businesses, as was stated before, was management consulting, information technology, engineering and support, engineering and logistics support, telecommunication, and healthcare services. Now, you all know that I had to take a moment and say that. As a business owner, I have to make sure that you hear it. You know, when I was thinking about what to talk about for 10 minutes, my mind was everywhere. I said I could talk about the business, but you hear about businesses all the time. I could talk about the 7 habits of highly effective people, but you know that already. You've read that. That's been in existence for many, many years. To be proactive, to begin with the end in mind, to think win, 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 win all the time. You know that because you're SMA, and that's what you do. You win, win, win all the time. I could talk about keys to successful businesses. We all know that you have to be determined, have skills, have passion. You have to have the intestinal fortitude to want it bad enough to sacrifice many things to do it. You have to be disciplined. You have to persevere. You have to have a plan. But most of us know that you have to take that leap of faith. But the smart people will also realize that you don't take that leap of faith without having a risk mitigation plan in place. You don't take that leap of faith without looking and having that risk mitigation plan in place. And I thought, well, maybe we'll talk about the keys to growing a business. And I thought, no. Everybody knows that, especially all of you, because you write plans every day. I thought about keys to success, keys to growing a business is basically, quality product at a fair price, minimizing opportunities, maximizing risks, and investing in human resources wherever possible, because they are your most important resources. So in thinking about it, I said, okay, Rose, what are you going to do? And I thought, well, let me just share something with you, something that's important to me. And that's what I want to do today. SRI has allowed me to take an aspect of my life to a higher level. I have always been a giver by nature, but with SRI, I have learned that giving can lend to a greater success in many forms: greater productivity, greater accuracy, greater customer service, financial growth, and personal enjoyment and satisfaction through the life-changing experiences of others. So what I want to share with you today, what I want to talk about for just a few minutes, is that of something that's very simple that has made a difference in my life and also in the growth of SRI. And that is what I call a circle of giving. Anne Franklin once said that no one has ever become poor by giving. And most people think of financial giving and thinking, oh, yes, I can if I give all my money away. But giving comes in many different forms. If you have or are a member of a corporation, an LLC, or an independent contractor, or just a member of society, you can create an opportunity for giving. I find that whenever I give, it's reciprocal. It's an investment, it's reciprocal. It always comes back in some form or another. And that's why I started SRI, to provide a platform to give something different to employees, an environment of care, training, skill development, and resources for growth and development. With this COVID-19 environment that we're in, and all of us are still yet trying to overcome 2020, but with this COVID-19 environment, it has allowed everyone at SRI to think about our coworkers, and in a different way. This has strengthened our team and also increased performance. I can see my mission is no longer just mine, but most of our employees as well. Many of our employees have enhanced the lives of coworkers, their family members, communities, through various support activities. It could be something as simple as picking up the phone and calling someone and say, how's your family member? How's your mother doing? I understand she was in the hospital. That care of giving, whether it's financial or sharing or just listening to someone, has brought about a change in SRI. We live under the philosophy that if we care for our employees, that Maslow hierarchy of needs that many of us learned in Management 101 in our undergraduate work, that Maslow hierarchy of needs, if we identify their needs, wants, and preferences and target in on them, if we care for our employees, that they feel that they are valued, they're a valued resource in the organization, they will care for our customers. And we want them to do that because they're on the front line. They're on the front line. We can't always speak to the customer, but our employees speak to them every day in communication and in what they're doing and how they're doing it, whether they're doing it good or not so good. We want them to do it excellent all the time because they speak and represent the corporation. And they can only do that if they feel that they have a strong foundation under their feet. They don't have to worry about their financial being because we pay them and we pay them on time. We pay them fairly. We pay them consistently. So if we invest in them and invest in them in totality, from a holistic perspective, identifying the needs of their family members and assisting with that, the needs of the community and adding to that, then they will invest in their day-to-day activity with their customer. And their customer in turn will continue to be supportive of SRI, and we will continue to be their contractor of choice. Because of this, internally, we continue to build a stronger infrastructure and a business base that is basically different. It's different, but yet it produces results, it produces success. Externally, we aid in building our community. And you can see that on the slide. How do we build our community? We build it by feeding 15,000 families in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area not long ago. When Dallas had the winter storm, we heard about it. We were concerned about it. We had employees there. So we just went and we fed over 9,000 family members. We have rebuilt a church that was destroyed by fire. And we take a holistic approach, as I said before. We invested in the arts of the Kennedy Center. We invested in history with the National Museum of African Americans in History and Culture. We extended life with our labor, our efforts, our physical care and financial support to organizations such as the Cancer Society, Diabetes Association, and many others. We invest in improving education and knowledge, not just with our employees through our tuition reimbursement program, but also in their family members. You know, I have one employee who had 4 children to send to college almost at the same time, back to back. So we invested, we offer scholarships to that employee. And we also make contributions to universities and colleges and offer opportunities for others that we do not know at all. We improve healthcare and many of the things that we do in serving on boards. I served on the INOVA board for more than 7 years, providing guidance and direction and also participating in program. We also invest in organizations that care for abused children and women, like the Micah's Promise. So we invest in our employees, and through that, together, we invest in the community. You know, when I think about developing a circle of giving, I want to invite all of you to develop a circle of giving, because the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away, okay? Is to give it away. And when you give, you receive. There's no question about that. I want to invite everyone to think about creating a circle of giving. And in doing so, it's very easy. It's very similar to what you do every day. It's very similar to establishing a business. You start with a vision, you create a mission, you develop goals, and then for each goal, you develop objectives, performance criteria. You look at your capabilities, your constraints. What are your capabilities? What resources do I have at hand? What are my constraints? What obstacles may come in my way so I can mitigate the risk? Develop a strategic plan, create operating principles, define and execute a comprehensive infrastructure, build strong financial resources, execute your plan, persevere. I always concentrate on perseverance. Many people stop, but today we have to keep pressing on. There's no excuses why we cannot be successful in anything that we do. If it's our day-to-day activity, our day-to-day work effort, we have to persevere. There's no excuse for what we can't do, okay? Because we can't do it. The successful person is one who makes that first step. You never fail if you take that first step. We all know that, okay? Identify new ideas and new direction, and evaluate your performance through your performance criteria, and reestablish your mission if you need to, reconfirm it. I invite all of you to think about giving. Giving is so small. It could be simply designing a picture like Tom just showed us, and sending it to everybody on your team. Continue to have these workshops that you're having, but develop a circle of giving, because when you develop a circle of giving, someone else will develop a circle of giving. Before you know it, it will multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply. And what we all know is that we need to make changes. And we need to make changes if this country is going to grow, if our society is going to grow, if our community is going to grow, if we're going to grow. So that's what I want to share with you today, is how my circle of giving created SRI's circle of giving, how it's built our infrastructure and increased our productivity, especially during this time of COVID-19, and also how it has affected the community. Thank you very much for 10 minutes. I greatly appreciate having the opportunity to share with you.
Hey, if you could just stay on for a few more minutes, that was so incredibly powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Actually, it's gotten me thinking very seriously about some things that we should be doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Can we hold off on the opportunities until next week?
Of course.
Unless any of them are particularly urgent?
Absolutely, of course. Because I think there's
Yeah.
probably some questions that folks are going to
Yeah,
want to
and I
ask.
think that there are a lot of comments I saw popping up. So if perhaps Maureen or Melissa, Suzanne, if you could take a look at the chat window, or if anybody on the town hall just wants to unmic and just ask a question, please, let's do it.
Well, one thing while they're getting organized that way, then I'd like to share, it's easy when you have something that's going really well or smooth to have an interaction with somebody. But the first time I met Ms. Slade was when we were talking about a bit of a challenge, and exactly what she described is the way that the SRI works, and it was we had a very open conversation. We adjusted course, and we were able to to get things back on track. But I think that really demonstrates the integrity and quality of an organization. And I'd like to thank you for the opportunity you've given us here at SMA.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's rare to have such a honest, and sincere client.
Right.
When give you feedback when things aren't working right. That's right. They're always going to work right 100%. We have an opportunity to fix it.
That's exactly right.
And I must say that SMA Jacques was excellent, and Patty, they heard. And this is what I do. If something is not working or can be worked better, I listen to my client and I respond, and I'm grateful for that. Just grateful for that. That speaks to the type of organization you have. You have excellence here. I can see it with the diagrams and the artwork and even the golf discussion. You see excellence. You see excellence.
So I'd like to see if there's questions, but as we, Melissa or Mel or Susanna, one of the things I think last year that's taught us as a firm is you have to have levity. And so you can see in our town halls, we try to bring some levity into our own lives.
Absolutely.
Susanna, Melissa, Maureen?
Yeah, I see one for Mrs. Slade. It says, can you tell us your SRI Circle of Giving mission/vision statement? And thanks so much for sharing.
We take a holistic approach to everything. I believe, and we believe, that if you want to bring about change, you just can't concentrate on one thing. So we concentrate on family, concentrate on individuals from a perspective of physical, mental, emotional, job, and also, I'm trying to think of the fifth one, and professional growth. So we look at all of those things. We look at the health of a person. We have a circle of about 5 or 6 items that we focus in on. And that's where some of these items came from that you've talked about. We reach out, we help the homeless, because we realize that you can talk to a person all the time about getting a job or going to school, but if you can't eat, you can't even think about your career and how to progress forward. Okay, so we look at the physical nature of an individual. We look at the environment in which a person live or exist. We look at the mental state. Do we need to care for people who have mental challenges? And we do that. We have that right now. We have a couple of people that we're working with, and they have progressed tremendously because of our giving and our support.
Thank you. Maureen, any other? I know there's a
No,
lot.
everything else is just a thank you, and just how wonderful this talk was for just thought provoking, and everybody was just thank you. Yeah.
Well, Maureen, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Rose, thank you so much. This is Liz. I'm part of the admin group as well. So with your 1,200 employees, you get them rallied. They actually go out into the field and help participate with some of these, like building the church and so forth. It's not just monetary contributions, it's actually physically participating.
Yes, I can't speak for all 1,200. No, I can't speak for all 1,200, but I can say that yes, we had a group of people. We participated in the cancer walkathon, and they're able to do that. But more importantly, when I said that we fed 15,000 employees in Washington, D.C., that was one activity for many, many months, there were a group of people at SRI who actually went out on Saturdays or Sundays with our vans. And not only did we feed, but we gave people things they need. We gave them packages of personal things that they may need
Wow.
and
Wow.
living on the streets, and being homeless. Yes, we physically do that.
Wow, that is impressive. And are your 1,200 employees located nationwide so that you get a whole variety of volunteer activities?
They're international. We have people
Oh.
overseas as well. We're international.
Okay, and do employees just give you suggestions as to what they would like to participate in or what they would like the company to start sponsoring? Is that how is it a bit of a grassroots?
Right, they can make recommendations, but also they can make recommendations to us. And we give financially, or we have a small group of people who will sponsor something.
Okay, so you actually dedicate a portion of your budget then for the Circle of Giving?
That's right, from SRI and also me personally.
That is incredible.
In fact, my accounting firm, BDO, which is a fairly big company, have told me that I'm their number one philanthropist.
Wow.
Wow.
I give more than any other people they serve.
Wow.
And that's because I've been very blessed in my life. And
Yeah.
I started SRI based upon an opportunity I had at Honeywell. I treat every challenge as an opportunity, and decided to change professions and come out on my own. And there were a lot of people who gave to me, who believed in me. So it's my job to give back and help others.
That is incredible. And if I apologize, I have not been on your website, but if I were to go on your website, I could find more detail about your Circle of Giving.
We just changed our webpage. I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Okay.
You may. It was just changed within the last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. So I have to go out and check for myself.
Okay, but we know how to reach you now.
If not, all
Okay.
you have to do is give us a call.
Okay, because I think you could, if you wouldn't mind, you could perhaps help us get really, a lot more dynamic in our Circle of Giving.
I'll be happy to share whatever I have with you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Incredible. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're inspirational, very inspirational.
But thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Mhm.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be giving you a call.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.